Let me go get you the world, yes, Lord. In the name of
Hello there, I'm Sweets, and you are tuned in to So Sweet Sundays. And I have with me
Rosie.
Baxter. Cupcake. Mish.
and today we are going to be discussing how important it is to stay on our posts. And what is a post? So we're going to shuffle that thing up. And we're going to go with Cupcake! Woo! What does it mean to you to hear someone say stay on your post, or as we discuss, being on your post?
So being on your post is super important. It's detrimental in general because it involves you, the people you're around, and your assignments that you have in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So you learning to get out of your own way and learning to be right in God, it gets to where they're supposed to be. Because if you missing your steps in your assignment and not passing your test, what about all the people that you're supposed to help?
Okay.
So if you fail that, everybody that's supposed to come in to encounter you also doesn't get what they need because you weren't there for yours.
So do you even know what the assignment is? Do you know what your post is? Is there like bus stop 57, or are you supposed to be over there in the West Wing? Like what does that really entail?
I feel like for some people, you know what your assignment is, like your family, obviously, like your close-knit family, those are your assignments. But when you have the promise or other things, if the Lord doesn't tell you, you don't know. You really go through life praying for your people, and then the Lord gives you an assignment, and then you have to go forth in that. It's not like you can tell him no. It's like, you have homework today, you need to do that. Oh, no, I'll do it later. No, you're going to do it today, and you're going to continue to do it until they get it right. Or if they don't get it right, then you can move on to the next. But that's ultimately up to him. It's not to you.
Okay. So can you discuss like what was an assignment for you? You don't have to get like too detailed, or like even like a small baby assignment or a post that you were on.
I would say not my current job, but my job prior. I feel like I was a post for that. My post was like getting people in touch with God as I was really beginning my walk, and also like racial relations, because I think a lot of people didn't understand what was going on, nor did they get it. I definitely think I changed a few people's minds at that point. So that would be a little assignment.
And so when you are done with that assignment, do you know it, or like how long, like how do you even know?
For me though, like when you can leave the job, it's like for me, because you described it earlier as like you're giddy, and you said a little bit of sad, but like it was like anxious for me. Like I'm there too long. I was like, I need to go. Like I have to go. Like literally dreading to go to work every single day because I was there too long. Because I stayed past the time I was, and I didn't realize it back then. A little bit of now, like I stayed a little bit past mine because I need to get my test together. But other than that, you know, that's what it was. It was like I am dreading going to work. It was like you need to find something else and do it quickly.
So do you feel it when you stay past your assignment?
Yeah, because girl, yes, yes, because obviously like the Lord is talking to you and you're like, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. And then you're like, oh, okay. He was like, but come on, baby girl, you're going to get it together or not. And then you keep going through the same cycles, the same thing over and over again, to the point that you're just laughing every time things happen, because like, what else? You can't get mad. Like this is you, honey bun. Like what are you going to do with your stuff? So I just be laughing in people's face, and they be like, are you done laughing? No. Because you don't understand the spiritual part of it that I'm going through. So all I can do is laugh.
Right. But it's the honey bun for me. So honey bun. So at that point in time, do you like realize, okay, I need to just get it together so I can go ahead and, you know, be dismissed from the assignment, released from the assignment? or do you just say, okay, I'm gonna just keep on going on this merry-go-round?
Because sometimes, like, for me, like, it's yes, like I need to get it right. Obviously, you feel that, but then sometimes it's like I got a little bit lazy, you know, and then it kind of hits the, like, it taps on the, like, touching the I don't care anymore, but you can't really have that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, no, I need to get it together. Like, every day, it's like, ooh, here you go again.
Yeah.
You could have done better.
Yeah.
You know, like, it really taps onto that, and I'd be checking myself in the car, and I'd be like, ooh. Like, are you done? And everybody was like, oh, I thought you would leave by now.
Yeah.
So everybody is touching what you should have already been doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, like, you need to get it together. Like,
Yeah.
move that foot forward. Because, like, now you're dragging yourself.
Mm-hmm. So was there ever a time when you were supposed to be on your post and you were not?
Yes.
So matter of factly, though.
Yes. Absolutely. And not understanding my post. And I talked about it last Sunday. You know, I got cussed out with no cuss words, and I wasn't on my post. I wasn't doing the right thing for myself or who was my assignment at that point, even from afar, you know? So yeah, I was not on my post. It didn't end well for me, you know? Well, it does end well, but in that moment it didn't end well.
Right,
you know,
right,
you're
right.
a little shook up, you know, but other than that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pass that thing to Reach Mish. So for you, your assignment, do you know what your assignment is at times and how important it is for you to stay on your post to get to your assignment?
No.
No?
At times, I do not know my assignment.
Okay.
I question if it's my assignment or not. And that most times now I look back in hindsight probably was my assignment.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is it really my assignment?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, girl. Because it keeps reappearing, like she said, multiple times in different variations. And, you know, where it comes to friends, jobs, and people that I was choosing or was choosing me, it's like, you know, just having discernment. That's something that, man, like, that's kind of where it was at with me. So when I finally did get a little bit of discernment of, like, what is an assignment? Oh, okay, I stay at the job, then I'm not at the job. Like, they call me and I'm training for the job, and then they say, okay, you're not supposed to have this job. I don't know how you got past training.
Yeah.
It's so many different things I can think about, but you know it's an assignment, though, when it is. And eventually, for me, it wasn't always the case. Now I can honestly say, like, oh yeah, I know this is an assignment. Like, I got a support system. This is giving assignment because it's giving, like, I've already did this before. Familiar spirits. This person that works, like, I'm just like, they're being nicey. Okay. And like she said, you'll be like, man, like, something's telling me, like, I've met this person before.
Yeah.
It's not them. It's me. You know, like, I'm looking at it from a not God perspective, you know? So for me, when it comes to jobs, it's always like, man, I couldn't keep one, but it was like, no, like, I would not know which one to keep and which one to let go. Same with the friends. I would not know which ones to hang in with the Lord and do the work or to release.
Okay.
But for me now, I have a very clear vision of what it is, like, only because of the Lord, only because of who I'm around and seeing them on their posts and with their assignments and saying, and then being able to ask, okay, God, so is this my assignment? And he's like, yes. And it's like, well, I could just leave and go do another assignment. I could pass in increments. He's like, no, let's just all flying colors right now in this one.
Right.
It's potent. It's all the spiritual warfare, all these things, but let's go. And I'm just like, do I have to? And it's like, a not right now is still a no.
Yeah.
So are you going to give a no? You don't really have a choice. Like she said, you really have to say yes. And like my nephew always talks about it, like this song that he always listens to is like, say yes. It's like, okay, he keeps playing that song for a reason. So Lord, you using everything, even the babies, to let me know what it is, you know, for me.
Right. So your post, how important is it to stay on your post?
Oh, it's so important. Like, man, me not being on my post is going to almost do a domino effect for others. They got to pick up the slack on their end. They already have their own post and assignment. They already have things that the Lord's given them to do, but now they have to, like, do extra credit in a sense just to carry the whole. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. The thing that I don't want, I'm initiating. I'm engaging in. By not engaging with you on my post, I'm like giving other people more of a burden or not wanting to be a burden, I become one.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's better to just be on your post, even if you don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Just even standing is like where I'm at right now, to be transparent, just being able to just stand.
Yes.
And say, okay, like I just be available.
Yes.
Because I don't know what it's looking like in the details. I don't know how I'm feeling about it, but it doesn't really matter about that, because it's not even about me. But he's so gracious and so kind to let it be about you, until he's like, okay, baby, like, it's like she said, it's honey bun, but it'd be like, okay, baby girl, like, so I'm trying to work with you. You gonna crawl, you gonna do something, stand up, at least crawl.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, if I stand, I'm wobbly, but I'm standing, you know. So seeing like my little niece doing that too, it's like, wow, like, you're so patient. Like, you let us stand and fall and crawl and then act like we can't walk and then walk, and it's just all of those things. So for me, it's just standing right now.
Okay. And that's a good thing, is that a lot of times when you can't do nothing else, stand.
Yes.
When you don't even know, just stand. When you can't see, stand. When you don't understand, stand. When you can't hear, stand. When he's silent on you, stand. Just stand through it all. You know, through confusion, through misunderstanding, through not hearing correctly or assuming things, because the Lord can say one thing and we assume it to be another way, but it wasn't meant for that way.
Absolutely.
You know, and so just stand through it all. Just stand. So that's a beautiful thing. I love it. Slide this thing over to Rosie. Rosie, how important is it to be in your post, on your post, and give an example in your life about posture, post and posture, posture and post, just the whole thing? Yeah.
Your post is super important, you know, for me, especially like in this group. You know what I mean? It's like you are like the top post, and then like I have my own post at home. And so a lot of times I think for me, I have to stay on my post, because I have to be able to see what is shifting.
Yes.
Or I have to be able to see like, no, that's not you. That's like something else. And we need to get that under control.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? And your posture always has to be right, because you can't just mull somebody down because they wrong. Like, so somebody will be like, let me say that better. Right. Because that was wrong. And I'm, you know, because sometimes it's like, no, we're not, you know, but it's like, come on, like, you know, they're not supposed to be like that, you know. So, but your post, I think, you know, on a more personal level, you know, if you walk away from your post, like, you could put yourself into some type of bondage. Yeah. You can put yourself into some type of affliction. So it's like, it's important for you to stay on your post for the people around you, but it's also important for you, because if you drop the ball, you will feel the consequences of that ball being dropped, you know? So it's like, you have to be on your post. You know, it's like we talked about earlier. You don't clock in and then just leave your job. Right. Like, oh, well, I'm in, so I'm just go to the store. Right. You know, you know, you can't do that. I mean,
down at the Waffle House.
Yeah, you all at breakfast, at brunch, swag surfing. You can't do that. You know, you got to be on your post. It's like, you don't start your car and then just go back in the house and leave it. Yeah. Because somebody could steal it. Yeah. So it's like, it's just being vigilant, and it's being aware of everything, you know, that's going on around you.
And two, somebody's waiting on you.
Yes, that
somebody part. Else is connected that is coming, that may be getting ready to be your assignment or is currently your assignment. They're waiting on you.
Right.
And you can't be getting ready. Right. You have to already be at the post.
Yeah.
The bus is not going to wait for you. Like, oh, she's usually here at 8:57. You still in the bed sleep. Right. You about to get left, honey. And then you're not going to get to work. And then you got too many lates. Now you about to get suspended and wait on waiting on your check to come. Right. So they come back in 3 days. Right. 3 days later, you're fired. Right. Because you didn't stay on your post. Right. It's important to stay on your post. It's important to do what the Lord say do. When he say do it, how he say do it, and who he tell you to do it with. Absolutely. You know, because otherwise somebody's life could be on the line.
Right.
You know, it's so important. Like, just thinking about, for me, if I didn't stay on my post, how many things and souls and lives, you know, that wouldn't reach or connect or get that, you know, reverence of God, or that time with God, or learn how to pray or fast or whatever it is, you know, that it is very important that we always stay on our posts because somebody else is waiting on you.
Yeah.
It's like when you're in a race, a relay race, and you have to pass the baton.
Yeah.
But the next person can't get the baton if you're not there.
Right. They're standing there.
Yeah, just waiting, looking around.
Like,
exactly. So, did you understand when before I would tell you to stay on your post?
No, girl, no. I'd be like the post office. Post cereals.
Postmate.
Right. I'm like Postmates. I love to eat. That's good. No, I think I think that understanding that has come with, my maturity and my walk, there's a lot of things, I think when first encountering you that I didn't understand, but staying on your post, like, what does that mean? Because a lot of times, we get wrapped in our feelings and like sometimes our feelings kind of lead us, not kind of, they do emotionally. We're led by our emotions a lot of times. And the thing about like a post, when we're talking like somebody seriously staying on their post, your feelings don't matter because they're not facts. But it's just the fact that like regardless of how you feel, you don't get to leave. Like if you disagree with, it's the same thing. If you disagree with somebody at work, you don't just jump up and walk out. Like, oh, I'm out of here. Like, and they're like, and so is your check. Right. Yeah, your check won't be here just like you. So it's like, you don't, but I think that it's like it's like you said, it's so much bigger than you. And it doesn't always have to be like these super large things. Right. It's like, it's me inviting her to a baby shower. It's me saying, oh, come on to the house. It's me saying, girl, you going to church or what? Like, it can be from the biggest to the smallest of things, but it's still your post nevertheless. And it all matters because it all works together. Yes. So it's like, it's like when you said like, well, if I'm obedient later, it's like delayed obedience is still disobedience. Right. So it's like, what you gonna do? And it's way bigger than you. It affects everybody. Because if I jump off my post, then it's like, well, she ain't doing it. Or if like if you jumped off your post, we be like, well, she ain't doing it, so I ain't tripping. Right. Oh well, like it kind of it's the domino effect. One person stops and everything else just falls by the wayside. So it's just it could change somebody's life. Yeah. It's that big of a deal. And for some people, it's life or death. Like we see you go forth all the time. Like what if you just was like, oh, I don't feel like it today. Yeah. And, the person that was there needed that word. Like that was their last time. That was their last opportunity to like have that encounter. Yeah. They could have been on their way home to commit suicide. You never know. Well, you be knowing. But, you never know. Yeah. And, it's like because you don't feel like it, you have said, I'm not going to do my post today, whatever, I'm done. Yeah. And then somebody's stuck. Yeah. I'm clocking out. Yeah. I'm done. And the devil like, me too, because you got it. You being disobedient. Yeah. So it's like, it's a big, big, big deal.
Yeah. So what can you say for you that you were on your post that also helped somebody else stay on their post?
Ooh. I'm going to say like probably collectively with us, like in the drinking. Mm-hmm. Because, it's like you definitely still have those moments where it's like, ooh, I could go for a drink. But then it's like you look at everybody like, it's too much on the line. Like it's like as the older one, it's like that pressure. Like, oh, you can't get caught slipping. Like you supposed to know better, you know? So it's definitely that just, not that I'm perfect or that I have it all together, but trying to be like the best example that I can be, and it's like, they see me go through everything, you know what I mean? They, like nobody knows me like them. But nobody knows, and a couple of very select few. Right. But, it's just trying to be, the example. And it's like, of course, like we all make mistakes, like nobody's perfect, but I think like we all learn together and we all learn, like there may be something that, Mish does and I'm like, oh, I like that, same with Shantae, same with Becky, or I'm sorry, Reach Mish and Cupcake and Baxter. But don't want the people to know. It's a secret, Right. I'm like, but just trying to lead by example, and like I said, it's like a big deal. Hey, Mish, you want to go to a baby shower? She's here now. You know what I mean? Cupcake being all hard headed. It's like, you want to go to church? Like, yeah, I'll go. Baxter, like, come on down. Baxter, you know. So it's like, if I had been like, I don't feel like talking to nobody, I'm going to my room. Because I could have easily been like that.
Right.
At that time, I could have really for real been like, I'm in my room. I don't feel like talking to nobody. I'm just going to my room. Yeah. You know, I could have easily been shut up in my room. Yeah. So you know, like, it's like, no, like, you still have to do what God tells you to do. You have to stay on your post, because we wouldn't be sitting here doing So Sweet Sundays. We wouldn't be sitting here doing the Bloom Table. You know, there's people that I've had to remove, you know what I mean, because the assignment was up. So, you know, it's like just knowing that obedience has to be there. That discernment has to be there. So
was that hard for you to release those who... She didn't even let me finish the question.
Nah, yeah. I'm like, no, because like when she say, "Oh, honey bun, the assignment is up," and nobody knows, like eyes know that there's a penalty for hanging on to things out of season. Yes. So like when it's up and it's stuck. Like, good day to you, sir, madam. No, I don't have time. Nah, you know. And I'm one of them people, like, when it's up. Like, it's over. Tell the people what you need to tell them. Hey, may the Lord watch. Right. Between me and thee. Right. While we're absent, one from the other.
Each another.
Yeah.
Each another.
Yeah, like, no. Right. And a lot of times, that's a further example of the penalty of hanging on to things, because it's like, you know, you're supposed to let it go, and that thing just keep turning up. It's turning up, and I'm just watching the thing turn up, like, I'll be something. Well, I'll be done. Well, paint me green and call me Gumby. Imagine that. I'm like, oh no, and it is like they just do that one thing, and it's like. Bruh, you had to know that was coming. Like, you know you were cutting up.
Go ahead and clock out.
Yeah, you left me.
Give me your badge. Go ahead and clock out.
I used to have a teacher in school. Yeah, I had a teacher in school, and he used to always say, "Please do not force my hand." And that's what happens. They force your hand. What teacher was that? It was Dr. Gupta. It was accounting. He said, "Please do not force my hand." And he used to always, like, when people would be in class talking, you know, he used to always say that, like, because he don't want to put nobody out. Right. Hey, if you got to go, hit the bricks, scram, adios, peace. Like Martin used to say. Like, and I mean, you know, because it's like when you don't, what you allow will continue. Yeah. And so it's like,
it will turn up.
And it will turn up. And I remember sitting like,
and bring a cousin.
Yeah. And I be like,
wow. Or 7, right.
Yeah. Or 7 demons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it'd be like, oh, wow, that's weird. I think it's getting worse. Worse, sir. Right. It's gotten worse, sir. Worse, sir. I think this is progressing. Yeah,
right.
This is progressing. Right. And I'm looking at them, and they looking at me, and it's like, hey, like, and you can always tell too when it's a release, because the person, they can't say nothing. They just be like,
right.
Well, I guess I'll just head on out there. Like, they can't say anything.
And you feel at peace.
Yeah, you be like,
you really feel at peace.
It's like your soul be like, oh,
yes,
thank you, Lord. Like,
yes,
man, the release is top tier. Like, when you get a release and it's like, hey, this isn't working out for me anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and need you to grab your stick and your bandana, and I want you to head over to the exit. It's like, yes, and we're out of there. It's like a celebration in my soul. Like, won't he do it?
But don't people then say that you're acting funny?
Yeah.
Oh, they're acting funny.
No, sweetie, I'm not acting. I'm funny, but I ain't acting funny. You was acting funny, actually, and that's why you got the old boot. So
not the boot, though. Not the boot.
The boot. The Timberland.
Wait, why am I thinking about one of them leg boots? The big fat black ones that be Velcro.
Hey,
nobody want that boot.
It's, you know, you got the lug boot. Yeah. You got the Timberland or whatever, you know, Nike ACG boots, whatever you prefer. Just grab your bend and take your bed up and walk. That's all I got, cause I realized in that moment, like, oh, this is gonna get worse for me.
Yeah.
Oh no. We're not taking whoopings.
Yeah.
A storm hard enough.
Yeah.
I ain't taking no whooping for you.
Right.
It's like that meme when it's like when you getting jumped and the dude be like, the dude with the Timbs be like, let me at him. Like, cause they got No. This is over. This has come to an end. The ride is up.
You ran out of all your coins.
Exactly. There are no more. I don't even care at this point. Once I'm very clear, like and she knows I might gotta sleep on it. That might get the most time you get. A good 8 hours. And the next day I'm looking at you like, so we're gonna have to talk about the activities that transpired on the good Sunday evening. And then it's like, now you know that wasn't right? Well, nevertheless, whether you know or not. It's time to go. Yeah. Because it just, to watch it turn up is crazy. Because you're like, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 10. Oh, no, I'm out. Oh, no. No. The Lord said no. And I'm standing in agreement with that. Yeah. But it's crazy because as soon as you jump into that, everything else is like whoosh. Like everything else, boom, 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 just starts happening. Yeah. So, hey, I say, don't be no fool. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. I really love it. Give that to Baxter. Somebody won't. And again, may the Lord watch. Right.
Me and thee.
Right.
And you and you.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Because then the block game gets strong.
Block, blickety, blickety, block.
Right. Right.
That block list is for lifers. To my, I actually said my double soul, my triple soul.
Anyway, will there be one?
Right.
That is hilarious.
It is super hilarious.
You can join the rest of the riffraff. I don't care.
Okay, Baxter. So how big is it for you about assignments on your life and other people around you, and how did that assignment for someone else trickled over into your life that got you here?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I think assignments are huge, and I think I just wanted to say like a precursor, like before being saved, I didn't know how big they were, and I would treat everyone as an assignment, which I didn't know what that was, but I was like people pleasing. I was doing this and that, and I was trying to serve. Mostly I was just people pleasing, and I wasn't even serving, but I was trying to serve, but it wasn't doing nothing for me. It wasn't doing nothing for them. It wasn't doing nothing for nobody. So that's like where I was at pre-saved. And then now that I know the severity of assignments, now I'm not doing nothing that God did not tell me to do.
Come on now.
Like if he didn't tell me to go to the store, if he didn't tell me to do this or that, I'm not going no more. I'm not doing that no more.
Right.
And for me, but the severity for sure, I guess for me, I would think, I realize, like you said, I think about it in the moment, like we're doing all these little things right in the moment, but we don't even realize in the moment how big it is and how it's for generations to come or souls to come or people to come. And these just little moments, like we said, even when the Holy Spirit unctions you to pray, even when the Holy Spirit unctions you to get up or speak to someone, or even reach out to someone, see how they're doing, or just whatever the littlest tiny thing that you don't even think that or know that it could be affecting them in any type of way. That was a lot of times when the Holy Spirit unctions you, because that's just what they needed. They just needed one more prayer. They just needed one more conversation.
Come on.
They just needed one more just like a love on them, or stuff like that. And I feel like Rosie was saying, like I could have easily just like how for many years I was like super depressed, and I think, well, obviously because my like call is to be like an uplifter, but but the enemy wanted me bound for so long that I was so worried about me and my feelings, and unforgiveness, that it was really like like I was depressed and I was just in my room all the time. It's like nobody could reach me. Like it was just dark in there, like no lights on, like nothing. So once I realized, like, okay, there's actually light in me, and then I see how many people look to that light, and it's like, okay, like, wow, I do have a light because the Lord allowed that. The Lord says that, like he actually says, like, nah, like there's something in you and I need you to give it to other people. I need you to go see about other people for me because this is what I need you to do and I need them to do this too. Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, and I think though, like for me, I spent so much time like thinking everyone was an assignment. Like if I could just help this person, help that person, do this and that. But at the end of the day, then I realized like, no, like it's like God's like, I see your heart, of course. He sees our heart. But at the same time, he's like, you weren't serving me in that. Yeah. So he's like, was talking to me like, so now that you're here, now I need you to fully serve me, fully live for me. So that way I can really bring you to just who, like, because it's basically like, you wonder why everything wasn't working before. You wonder why the relationships, the assignments, the people that you were serving before wasn't working. It's because it wasn't in my will. It was not at all what I had for you. So, yeah. So realizing that, sorry, I had to catch my breath. Yeah. But realizing that was like, oh, okay, so you actually have a purpose for me. Yes. You actually have assignments that are actually going to lead me to everything in the elevation that you are calling me to. Yeah. And even now, like I think like Misha was saying, like it's like sometimes I don't really know my assignment, or even in the moment I'm like, oh, I'm here for a reason because this is the low. This seems like the low to bar. Right. Or even how like assignments could be long term, or they could just be like even a day. Like when I went to speak, like that was one assignment just for, and then you're like, we gonna see, like we might stay longer, we might not. Yeah. But it's really all about the Lord's timing and how he asked us to move for that specific moment. Yes. And because if anything out of turn, then who knows what we could have missed or who we could have missed. Yeah.
So is there fruit that bear from the assignment? Yeah,
definitely. I don't want to get specific, but all that like touches my heart because I think like a lot of times we don't really understand how it helps someone. Like even for me, like I could say you being on your post initially, of course, but then it trickled to you, and then trickled to you, and then all of y'all being on your post really led me here. Yeah. And then learning how to even, which also saved my life for sure. But then learning how to be like from y'all to be on my post, to be honest, like with an assignment with someone else. Yeah. And then seeing their life change just because they watch me, or just because they see how my life has changed, just because we stopped drinking. Like, and then having friends that also stopped drinking because of that is like really, like honestly, like not only saved my life, but I could say it saves their life too. Yeah. At the end of the day, because they want better for themselves too. Yeah. And it's so beautiful to me, and it makes me like, my heart is like warm. But like, because for real, like you said, that one thing that happened when she said, oh yeah, the drinking, like I think holds everyone accountable. Yeah. Because that day that I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna drink anymore. And it was really like, dang, like, am I really gonna say that? Like going out on a whim, like in a way. But then I'm like, nah, because it's really like for the best. Yeah. And there's nothing like, honestly, I don't regret saying that or making that decision, because honestly, it's gonna, like I said, it was holding back so many things, and now I just can't wait to see, like, God has already, like you said, everything falls in line after you release that one thing. So it's like, I can't wait to see what God is doing for all of us, honestly. Yeah.
So assignment is super huge for you. You've been an assignment, and you've also been the person who was supposed to be on assignment for somebody. And so you also see the fruits from it. If you don't stay on your posts and you don't handle the responsibility, do you see the results of that as well, to where it's like, oh God, then things are kind of like uprooting, and like Rosie said, like staying way past your season, or in it for, it was supposed to be a day trip, and now 15 years later, 9 kids.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure.
A bankruptcy, a divorce.
Right.
In a garbage bag.
Now you done lost your mind again, and you back to square one or whatever, because you're not moving in the Lord's will. But I think for sure, because just the other day where you're telling me like all assignments have like basically a time limit, or not
an expiration.
Basically expiration date. Yes. So I was thinking of that, and I was like, man, like, and I was just telling Mish, like, because I used to always think like, no, we'll be friends forever. Like these are my besties, my poor lifers, like everybody. Even, and because I was such a people pleaser, and I was so open, crazy open, and anybody would be at a bar, be whatever, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm like, hey, friends with everybody. No.
Butterflies, turtles.
Literally. That's the
trampolines, one whatever.
One with whatever.
Right.
But no, I think just learning basically. Oh wait. What was the question? Sorry.
So you're saying like basically, is it come with the penalty, if you will, when you stay outside.
Stay too long.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
your
So
assignment.
no, I think so too. And also it's not even, that's just selfish in a way. I think it really can be selfish because you don't know, even if you're, because first of all, we're harming ourselves, but we don't know how that's harming them, honestly, because it could be deterring them. And not only us, but them as well.
Right.
And then it keeps them longer in something that they're not supposed to be, like, they're already supposed to be off, and then on to the next person, on to the next thing, on to the next decision.
Yeah.
So I think for me, definitely, and also, and also, I think, what's it called? Well, yeah, sorry, I don't know now.
Yeah. So it's most definitely important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who was on their post for you?
For me?
Uh-huh.
Like, in this group?
Just period.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Well, low-key, okay, well, in this group, all y'all were on your post. And I just thank you, because I didn't even know how important that was. But I think about even, like, back to childhood, and I think about how it's like even my mom, or even my other godmom, my foster mom at the time, and it's so crazy, like, thinking how I almost was adopted, then I wasn't, and then went back to my mom, and thinking about how if I was adopted, I wouldn't even be in this space right now.
Yeah.
So it's like so crazy how my mom had to let me go, that way I could be without her with someone else for a little bit, and then because she was on her post, like, she kept me for a time, but then my mom got it together. She got back on her post, right? So it's crazy. Got back with her, and she kept me for a time. And now it's crazy how we talk about, like, being kind of passed on, like, spiritually, mothers, like, and now you've been on your post, and I got the gracious opportunity to meet you. And honestly, the biggest thing, like, so it really trickles down. And even, like I could say, my grandmother staying on their post, praying for me, bringing me up in the church, letting me at least know God a little bit, not to really live saved yet, but to just know, like, okay, I have someone who has love for me, and then to have that from you, and also y'all, like how Rosie was saying, like, Rosie, like, is like a big post at home, definitely. And I think being able to look up to her, like, as a mom, a sister, a friend, and everything, and even Cupcake is the mental. And it's like a lot of pressure, right? Release the mental. But it's like, sorry, I'm just yelling in the mic, but it's like, it's crazy because it is a lot of pressure, and I know, like, she feels it sometimes, but I know she knows that it's nothing, like, too big for God to handle and help her handle. But it's like amazing to be able to look up to her as, like, my close little big sister that I got. And then even Mish, like, man, it's like, it's amazing because in all the small things are really all the big things that you do. And it's like just so, like, amazing. Like, you don't even realize that you just be checking in, or like, Bex, I was praying for you. Bex, I was thinking about you. Like, and it's just like, for me, it's like even those little staying on your post moments, because it's crazy because you be so tapped in, and I feel like sometimes you don't even, because even you're like, oh yeah, like, I heard or I felt you at work. Like, you okay? You good? And then you just be knowing. And it's just so funny. So, like, all of y'all, I think even us praying, like, on your break times and all these little things staying on our posts is just so important. Those little inklings, like, we just got to receive them and walk it out every single time.
And also, that was really, awesome what you were saying. But there is a young lady that I think about that comes to the mind, JoJo. Whether you know it or not, if you decide to listen, you were on your post when you hand her over to us. That was huge. That Joe was on her post and she didn't even know it. She didn't know what the Lord was getting ready to do. Had she not been on her post, if you not listened, if you not were unctioned, whether you know it or not, you were unctioned by the Lord to be able to give the baton to us for you to be able to do what you need to do. And then in return, pass it right back to her, whether she knows she coming or not.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? That's a huge thing.
No, that is huge.
Big ups, Joe.
Big ups.
Joe.
JoJo.
Yeah, my boy. Yeah, my boy. Yeah, my boy.
Because without
so
JoJo,
we love her.
Man.
Yeah.
And she's really, it is crazy because we do love her, and she's such a servant and just such a beautiful heart and mind, everything, all those things.
Yeah. Okay, so get at the Cupcake real quick. So who was on the post for you?
Well, you too. My mommy. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I would definitely say, like, you three.
Yeah.
I would say grandma, but I don't think grandma was. Yeah, no, you three.
Okay. Okay.
You three, hands down.
All right. Reach.
Like Beck said, I did have like an experience with somebody who was passing the baton along, and they were on their post at 16, and I'm thankful for Miss Lawanda. She and Mateo were on their post, and I'm so thankful that they even prepped my heart to come into a healthy dynamic in the Lord and see that again and have a second chance.
Yes.
Cupcake said it that I would drop the tears. But it's happy tears though, because man, if they had not been on their post, like I know what the terms were, but they was on it enough to say, okay, come on and move in and have the experience I had. And it was just a precursor to having lifers like Beck's talking about, and praying for lifers and just to do something for life, like with God. And not even knowing he was just on his post the whole time with everyone, you know, that I'd encountered, and even the ones that I thought were assignments. Taught me even more discernment, which is so funny. But having you, like she said, you two, like if it wasn't for Rosie inviting me, like just to get some bracelets, like I have my own bracelets, you know, and they said blessed from Target. Target. And I was like, these things, you know, I'm trying, Lord. I was just remind myself of something. But when you invited me to come, I ain't gonna get you crying. That really was a moment of on your post. I didn't know you from a can of paint other than a podcast moment, and seeing now nephew in his little car seat that day. But man, if it wasn't for that, and if it wasn't for you saying, who was the friend you got? And you being on your post and saying, no, she's in something deeper than she know. And even reaching out. You don't have to do that. You can just sell me, you know, the bracelets and move along. But it was like all things working together, you know, for my good. So I would definitely say that.
Okay. And she bucks her eyes.
They say if you take a deep breath in through your nose. Okay, first of all, the bracelets. When people buy the bracelets, like y'all be acting like somebody gonna run off with your little measly $25. That is a good Starbucks run. When I come to you and I say, hey, you want to buy some bracelets? It's not because we need it. Okay. It's because you need it. You know, like, and I get it. Some people's hearts not open, but that's a whole nother podcast. Okay, so. All right. So the person who was on their post, which will come as no surprise to anyone. Okay. It's Mrs. Sweets. That's not what I call you. I call you Dewana. Right. Sometimes I call her Dewanda. But that's like at home. That'd be me in my head. But anyways, because you know, I didn't really care for her in the beginnings. And we're family, we can talk about this. Right. You can't talk about it. I can. She can. They can. You cannot. Okay, so and I remember you know, me and the dramatic nature that I am. She knocked on the door, and Shantae said, "That's Dewana." I said, "Girl, that's not no Dewana, girl. That is not nobody. It's not Dewana. She's not at the door." And I opened the door, and she's standing there, and I fell into her arms like one of those Christmas movies. I'm serious. Am I serious?
She did.
All of this is true. Fell right into her.
This is true.
I said, "Hold me, mother." And she said, and I don't think I will ever forget this. She said, "I came to check on you because nobody came to check on me." Yeah. And that was it for me. Yeah. I was sold right then. So yes, I chose to be her friend for life. You know, and I think about if she had let how I felt, you know, hinder her obedience, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So, and that just goes to show how big the post is. You know what I mean? Because if there was no me, there would be no me. There'd be no cupcake. You know, like it would have just. Well, I mean, God can raise up another.
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
be clear. You know,
for
he could,
sure.
Yeah, you know, but it's like
for sure he can.
It's just a big thing. I think that you know that just speaks volumes to how big it is. You could have been like, oh, they don't like me. I'm not going over there. And like, let's be clear, she didn't just pop in and walk out. Like, she stayed there for hours. Like, literally hours. You know what I mean? And Jay sat outside. You know?
No,
But
Jay
he
wasn't even there.
Oh,
I came
she
by myself.
came by herself.
Yeah.
On a mission, because she lived
Right.
heck of far away.
Right.
She lived in Modesto.
Got the gas up the Batmobile.
Yeah, she pulled up on me. And like, thank God for that. I would say you, of course, Mom, and then my maternal grandmother.
Yeah.
I would say she was, because she used to pray heaven down.
Yes.
You know, she did not play at all. And I think that definitely, I know that like she was praying, even when she wasn't around me. I believe that. Yeah. I believe I'm still coasting off some of those prayers.
Yes, yes, Lord.
And she's no longer in the earth.
Yeah.
So I always say prayers don't expire. And I believe, like, she prayed for a moment like this. Mm-hmm. You know, I believe that she prayed me right into this, you know. So I think that it's dope to think of, like, the prayers that people said years ago. And now you see, you know, even the things that you've prayed over yourself, to see them manifest so much later. But if you hadn't been on your post, I definitely, I would not be here in many levels.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So, you know, and then there would be, I wouldn't have Sunny. So it's like, it's dope. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it super is. For me, it is my adversaries, my haters, y'all that don't like me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I even love you. I admire you. The tenacity that you have to come to hate towards my life. I appreciate you. You keep me going. Keeping me just another closer. Yay, I felt that in my shanda. Yeah. Glory. I love it. I love it. Every lie you told. Every time you tried to scandalize my name. All the stories. My God, thank you. And good night. That's all I have to say. I appreciate that. That staying on y'all posts, on my neck, if you will, on my spine. I love it. Woo, glory. It kept me closer to his garment, just touching the hem at his feet. Yeah, glory. Hearing his voice in the midnight hour. Keeping my ankles strong, my calves right. My God, the heart pumping. Yes. I love it. I love it. Even when people say bad things about, you know, what we're doing now. Yet I love it. Yes, I don't get mad. Don't think it's strange. Do not think it's strange. I love y'all. Even though you hate me. Bone of my bone. You're not flesh of my flesh, but that's okay. In another life, yes, you were. That's what did it for me. Is all the haters, the adversaries, the devils, the demonic spirits, the attacks. Yes, the people saying things. She thinks she better than that, and this is a code. And no, fasting and prayers in the word of God. Yeah. Be seated in his throne, touching the hem of his garment. Yes. The lady at the issue of blood, we talked about that earlier. She had, ooh, I felt that. I was like, I didn't know if I was going to block a shift. I was like, shift, Shondo. All I came out was a Shondo. So I appreciate it. And if y'all want to send me some hate money, go on, hit my Cash App. I kid. I don't need your change and your juju beads. I got a full-time job. I already got him in. 97 jobs. But that would be for me, just them staying on their post, and they relentless about it. They do not give up, and I appreciate it because I ain't giving up and backing down either. Say what you said. That's how I feel. But that's where I'm at with this. That's what we were talking about today. Just stand on your post, what that post looked like and what it did for your life. A post, but for real, like if I would really get like all the way for real, like in the earthly sense, Pastor James M. Scoggins Jr. at 3001 Marys Boulevard, Miracle Temple, did a work for me and with me. I love that man today and will love him always, for him standing on his post, him being so faithful to God, for him teaching me all of the teachings that I now spew out of me, came from him, a phenomenal man of God. You talking about an anointing. Right. An anointing, honey? Yes. If you want to see an anointing. Yes. You like, do we got any feet? Like, you just look up and he appears. It's like, literally. But I love him and I thank him for being on his job, being about his father's business, working the work while it is day. For nightfall, no man work. But that was this episode today. Stand on your post. And I am Sweets.
I'm Rosie.
And we out. Woo-woo.